Hello and welcome back to this Let's Play of Planescape Torment with myself, Waze, the Nameless One, Anna, Mort, and Dakon the Fragile. We are here in, well, I'm probably not going to say it. We are here in a special place with a different kind of, how can I put it, personal interaction between people of an intellectual nature rather than a physical. But the business setup is still the same.
I'll be over here.
Yep. Keep an eye on you, Anna. You little thief. But anyway, we're here. We have found Eves, the Tail Chaser, who we believe has information that we need. So,
time is precious.
Yes,
Let
I know.
us not squander it here.
Look, we're busy. We're doing stuff. Why? Everyone, just keep quiet. At least Mort's quiet, surprisingly, especially bearing in mind the place we're in. So let's just jump into it. Let's speak to Eves.
I'll be over here. Bort.
Eve smiles pleasantly at you. Greetings again. Have you come to trade tales? Yes, I have. Okay. Which story shall I tell her? The Alley of Lingering Sighs, Requin's Curse. Ask if one of your companions if they have a story to tell. Well, I like that one. Let's do that. Eves awaits your story patiently. Mort, do you have a story to trade? Me? Why do I have to tell a story? Just tell a story, Mort. Fine. Elderly man was sitting alone on a dark path, right? He wasn't certain of which direction to go, and he'd forgotten both where he was travelling to and who he was. He'd sat down for a moment to rest his weary legs, and suddenly looked up to see an elderly woman before him. She grinned toothlessly and with a cackle spoke, "Now, your third wish, what will it be?" This sounds familiar. Go on, Mort. Third wish? The man was baffled. How can it be a third wish if I haven't had a first and second wish? Go on, Mort. You've had two wishes already, the hag said, but your second wish was for me to return everything to the way it was before you had made your first wish. That's why you remember nothing, because everything is the way it was before you made any wishes. She cackled at the poor Burke. So it is that you have one wish left. Okay. This is interesting. Mort, continue. All right, said the man. I don't believe this, but there's no harm in wishing. I wish to know who I am. Funny, said the old woman, as she granted his wish and disappeared forever. That was your first wish. Okay, the plot thickens. Eve smiles. An interesting tale, Mort. And now I've one for you and your companion. The Fiend's Game. Okay, go on. Your experience there. A fiend sometimes wandered the wilderness of a certain prime world in the guise of a friendly old man. One day he came upon some hunters in the wood. What are you doing? The fiend asked. The hunters told him, and the fiend nodded. I've never been on a hunt before. The hunters invited the old man to come along, and the group eventually came upon a glade where several deer were grazing. The hunters carried crossbows, but did not fire, and the fiend asked them why. They are unarmed, the hunters chuckled, patting their crossbows. We hunt nothing that does not have the ability to defend itself. After all, where is the sport in that? The fiend nodded at this and promptly gated in 3 of his fellows. The hunters led them on a merry chase, but eventually they were caught and eaten. Okay. Gated in 3 of his fellows. Interesting. Okay, another tale to share with you. Let's see if my companions have any other interesting stories that I should know about. Anna, how about you? I am no good at telling such things, I'm not. She frowns and waves a hand as if trying to shoo away the idea. Don't be asking me for such nonsense now. Eve smiles at Anna, but I would very much like to hear your story. Just tell the story already, Anna. Come on already, fiendling. You already have one tale you won't part with. Oh, that was Mort. Anna looks uncomfortable, her tail lashing slowly back and forth. Well, I know one story. She suddenly becomes angry, glaring at Eves. But you might not like it, you won't. So don't be blaming me for you choking it out of me. Anna, go on. Anna scowls and finally relents with an exasperated sigh. I heard a story when I was a wee lass. This Burke's walking home real late near Anti-Peak and passes an old toothless crone in the dark and otherwise empty street. Where you going, she asks him. Home to me wife and Kip, he says. Near the slag, she asks him. Sure enough, he says. She asks him a favour, to take a box she's got to Deader's Pit and give it to the woman there. Now this Burke's a real sap, too nice to say no despite the fact he's sure something's not quite right about this old crone, and agrees. But what's the woman's name, he asks. Where does she live? Where should I look for her if she's not by Deader's Pit? The woman hands him the box, a wooden thing wrapped in coloured cloth, and tells him to just go and she'll be there. Finally, she warns him, and whatever you do, do not open the box. So he takes it home with him and hides it in the rafters, thinking he'll bring it by Deader's Pit when it's light out. His wife, though, seeing him hiding the box, gets right jealous, thinking it's a gift for a lover or something, and opens it up as soon as he's not looking. Well, turns out the box was full of gouged out eyes and severed male members, with the hair still on them. A scream brought the Burke running. He remembered what the crone said, got right scared and wrapped the box back up. He went out straight away to Deader's Pit, and sure enough there was another old hag waiting there for him. He hands her the box and she says to him, This box has been opened and looked into. The poor Burke tries to deny it, but she gets this dreadful look on her face. You've done something horrible, she tells him, then disappears. That done, he hurries back to his Kip. He's feeling ill when he gets back and takes to bed. His wife bitterly regretted opening the box and all, but it was too late. The next day he died of a rotting disease, and the first thing to go was his eyes and stem. Anna nods grimly, her tale complete. Was that pieces of me in the box? I am wondering. Eve smiles. That was a wonderful tale, Anna. You should never hesitate to share it. Now I've one for you and your companion, the parched land. Okay. Once, a large village was struck by a terrible drought. A farmer journeyed to the worshipping stone and again implored it as the cause of the drought. He asked the stone why it did nothing when the fields were parched and dying, why the animals and the people suffered while the stone did not a thing. Have we not given enough offerings? The farmer asked, begging almost upon his hands and knees. But the stone did not respond. It merely sat and cast its shadow. Okay, I'm sure there's going to be some deep meaning in these. Interesting, okay. I have another tale to share with you. Dakon, I think it's your turn. Dakon nods solemnly. I shall impart the tale of Akali drowning. Dakon tells the story of Akali, a foolish Gitsurai of myth who had become lost in the chaos of limbo. Normally, a single Gitsurai may use their focus and mental discipline to form the chaos around them into a small, habitable environment. Akali, however, asked so many useless and unfocused questions in her quest to return home that her isle of matter dissolved around her, and she drowned. Okay. Lost in the chaos of limbo. Focused to form the chaos around them, but she asked the wrong questions and drowned. Is there a message in there? Am I asking all the wrong questions? Eve smiles. Fascinating, Dakon. Let me share with you and your companion another version of your tale that I have heard. Dakon looks attentive and perhaps a little surprised. Go on, Eves. Racking up the experience here. Eves goes on to tell a different version of Dakon's tale, in which Akali was driven from the Gitsurai city of Shraktlor for her constant useless prattling. One day she encountered a Sladi on his way to the spawning stone. She hastily erected a wall of chaos matter, which even the ravenous Sladi found difficult to break down. Hungrily, it waited and spoke to her through the wall. She asked it questions, and as she became more absorbed in her pointless queries and the Sladi's answers, her own wall decayed and collapsed upon her, and thus she drowned in the matter of limbo. Okay. So again, drowning in pointless queries. Okay, let me tell mine. Let's start with Requin's curse. I feel like it's too obvious going to the mortuary one. And again, we've been told not to share it with anyone. Let's start with Requin's curse. Eves leans forward as you tell the tale of Requin's odoriferous curse. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale, and now I have one for you, the Gilded Tale. Upon the plain of Isgard is the Gilded Hall, where those sensates that seek the pleasure of gullet and loin can be found. They indulge these passions in earnest, never realizing that the doors of the hall never open, and that there is no clear path to the civic festival. They are the unwanted sensates, the ones that do not truly believe in the faction, but instead seek only pleasure for pleasure's sake. Are prisoners who do not realize they are such truly prisoners? Now there's a philosophical question for you. Okay. A lot going on here. If people are happy with their lot, it's a bit like Cypher in the Matrix. That's sort of where he was coming from. I've another tale to share with you. I'll tell her the Alley of Lingering Sighs first. She'll probably tell me another story. Then I'll get some experience, and then I'll decide if I want to tell her the last one or not. Eves leans forward as you tell the tale of the alley giving birth. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale, and now I have one for you. Before I begin, I must ask, do you know what a modron is? No. Modrons are creatures of total law, almost more machinery than living things. There are many different sorts of modron, but all have their place in a very rigid, carefully organized hierarchy. So dedicated are they to this system that they cannot communicate with or even consider the existence of modrons who are not their immediate superiors or inferiors. Okay. Many different sorts. So basically they can't understand existence outside their own structure. Okay, I understand. Then I shall tell you the tale of the clock and the quadrone. Okay, go on. Once upon a time, there existed a modron. It was newly created, its logic fresh and untested, and it had come to Sigil, following the commands of its modron superiors. It knew nothing but commands and diktats of obedience and passing along the orders of its superiors. For you see, modrons are only aware of the commands of their immediate superiors. They have no grasp of a higher authority until this one. One day it came upon a small shop, within which there was a small clock that could no longer tell time. It was cracked along the edges, the wheels of its hands broken. The modron immediately set itself to work at getting the parts to fix the broken clock. It made a new wooden housing for the clock's parts, replaced the bent springs, carefully filed and oiled the clockwork machinery, and carved new hands from the sparse metal available to it. The newly repaired clock's precise ticking reminded it of the great gears of Mechanus, and it comforted it as much as anything may comfort a modron. And what the modron never came to understand was that it truly loved this clock that it had worked on, and for reasons it could not explain, elected to remain in Sigil and be with the clock for the rest of its years. Okay. Fell in love with its own creation. Is love the higher power? Is this the message? Okay, I've got another question for you, Eves. This is a bit obvious, but let's ask anyway. Why are you called the Tail Chaser? Once upon a time, a girl came to an oracle who was rumored to know many things and asked of it a boon. Her life was in need of direction, so she asked this oracle as to what would give her purpose. Now, the oracle was not evil, but it was vague and tended towards drink, which caused it to be obscure in many matters of judgment and focus. Its only answer to the girl's question was that within one story that she would hear in her lifetime was the truth that she sought. The girl went off and collected stories which she chases to this day, not knowing which of the thousands hold the truth. Okay. That's quite an errand. Maybe a fool's errand, who knows? Such is the danger of a foolish question and the wisdom of an unspoken one. Okay. So what are you doing here? I collect tales and trade them with others who've tales of their own. What can you tell me about this place? That is part of Mistress Grace's story, which is not mine to tell. She has said that when she nears the end of her years, she shall tell me, and only if I pledge never to share it with another. She hopes that she will never need to tell me her tale, for she hopes I will find my own story before that time and leave this place. I think she fears my life will be squandered in searching for this tale, and not acting upon what I already know. Eve sighs softly, but it cannot be helped. Very interesting. Too deep a thirst for knowledge means we can end up never actually using the knowledge that we have. Your own story? Okay, we know that one already. Ivana. Where do I know that? Eves, you look familiar. Is your mother named Ivana? Eves nods. Yes, but she and I no longer speak, just as I shall speak of her no more. I can't remember who that might be. Now these are the three questions I really want to get to. So what can you tell me about the silent prostitute? Echo. Eves frowns, thinking. I once heard a tale of a girl who knew the word that, if spoken, would undo the multiverse. Perhaps this is Echo. Ask Delora, though. I understand that she sometimes meets with one who knew Echo before she stopped speaking. Okay. So is it Delora? It is Delora. And I'm trying to find Marissa's Crimson Veil. Do you know where it might be? Eve shakes her head. But Marissa's is an interesting tale. Would you hear it? I most certainly would. Go ahead. Once upon a time, in a world of heroes and a time of petty, childish gods, there were 3 sisters. Cursed with a hideous appearance, they were considered demons by the people of the land and forever shunned. One missed her sisters terribly, yet left that world with its shame behind, but exchanged the pettiness of a pantheon for the pettiness of self. Okay. It left that world with its shame behind, but exchanged the pettiness of a pantheon for the pettiness of self. Interesting. And now about Ravel Puzzlewell. The tale of Ravel Puzzlewell, frightener of children, begins and ends with a question. What can change the nature of a man? Yeah, we know that much. Many were the times she posed this riddle to those who approached her, those who sought to glean from her the strange magics that she alone seemed to possess. All attempted to answer her query, but to no avail, and they found the price of their wrong answers to be some horrible fate, always more terrible than the last victims. To recount their various torments would be to speak of things that nightmares are woven from. The tale strikes me in this way. Ravel herself knew not the answer to this question, but she lusted for such an answer. Only the why of the matter remained in question. Why did the nature of a man matter to one of the Grey Sisters, especially to one of such power as Ravel? Go on. It is said that she put the question to the Lady of Pain, not directly, but shouted it to Sigil itself, daring for the lady to answer. When no reply was forthcoming, she wove terrible magics that threatened to open the cage and let the fury of the plains roll in like a wave. She received no answer other than banishment. To this day, no one knows the answer to Ravel's question, and now there is no one to petition, for Ravel herself is gone, lost to the plains. Something tells me she's not truly lost.
Updated my journal.
Okay. I think that's it. I think we're done for now. Okay. Thank you, Eves. Let's have a quick look at the old journal. Okay, need to speak to Delora. After telling me a tale of Ravel, Eves suggested that Echo, the silent prostitute, might know something more of her, but that first I'd have to get Echo to speak to me. Which means I need to speak to Delora. Where is Delora? There she is, with another patron, and we have 2 Modrons. Interesting. Anyone else? Was there someone else around? There was, but she doesn't seem to be here now. I can't remember her name. Delora. This dark-haired, pale-skinned woman has a cultured, refined look about her. As she turns to you, you note that her eyes, which you had previously thought to be grey, are the colour of brushed steel. The woman's voice is soft, calm, and without inflection. It has a certain far-away quality, as if somehow not attached to her. Greetings. I am called Delora. May I serve you somehow? Okay, in what way can you serve me, Delora? She blinks her eyes, then touches her hand to her heart, bowing her head slightly. I am able to debate any scholarly or academic matter quite proficiently, if that is your wish. I am also well versed in various games of strategy, should you wish to play something, though I have the materials for few such games here. Debate, you say? Delora nods. That is correct. I am neither a tome nor a tutor. I have no desire to educate my patrons. Should you have a matter to discuss, however, the 15 factions and their effect on Sigillian politics, the most effective battle stratagems for warring in Acheron, the meaning of existence itself, I would be most pleased to choose a counterpoint and engage in debate. Okay, this could be interesting. Choose a topic, see if you can best her. You choose a topic and begin. The debate lasts a long time as the 2 of you exchange points and counterpoints, each attempting to methodically undermine the other's position. As you speak, a strange feeling begins to come over you, a memory trying to surface. We shall allow the memory to surface. Memories of a great hall begin to form in your mind, a vast place full of well-dressed elites. A formal ball was taking place. Before you was a small, impeccably dressed fellow who wore a golden medallion. It was emblazoned with a symbol you dimly recall as Sign of One. The 2 of you stood in a circle of onlookers who've gathered to listen to your debate. But that's impossible, the man was saying, looking perplexed. Oh, but it is, you recall yourself replying. I've made several inarguable points and given you a number of examples. You simply don't exist. But you can't. Were I to accept that, I'd... Yes, you cease to exist. And without a flash of light or puff of smoke, with no fanfare of any sort, the man was simply gone. That's quite a debate. The onlookers oohed and ahed, some clapped. You remembered giving a flourishing bow and walking away, a small satisfied smile on your lips. You suddenly realized Delora is watching you closely. Are you feeling well? We might finish our discussion at another time, should you like. No, let's continue the debate. As hard pressed as you are to beat Delora's infallible sense of logic, you eventually win out. She merely nods in approval. You're a most skilled debater. This there is no denying. I do feel, though, that had I time to perform some research, you might not have bested me. Perhaps, perhaps not. I'd consider that an unfair advantage, though. Delora nods. If you would like, we can debate once more upon the same topic. I could argue your position this time, should you desire it. Not right now, thanks. Can we play a game, though? Of course. Is there anything in particular you wish to play? No, I don't really remember any games. Here then, allow me to show you one. Delora brings out a thin lacquered box which unfolds into a small board marked with a grid. The contents of the box prove to be a number of polished stone chips, half of them black, half of them white. This game goes by many names. Shall I explain the rules to you? Yes, please. Dora explains to you the rules of the game, how the chips are moved, how one bests one's opponent. It seems somehow faintly familiar to you. The rules are simple, yes? But a great deal of complexity lies within the game itself. It takes a great deal of time to master. Shall we play? Okay, let's. As you play, you come to realize that you've done so before. You recall various ploys and strategies that have won you previous games and employ every trick to beat her. Suddenly, a strange feeling comes over you, a memory trying to resurface. Okay, let's allow it to come back. Memories of a smoke-filled field of battle begin to fill your mind. Atop a great hill overlooking the fighting, you sat mounted upon a massive four-legged beast. The braying of horns carried your orders to the troops below. Even as you watched, your forces divided, fleeing left and right as the foreign army fought its way up the hill to slay the enemy lord, you. The fools, you had thought, lips curling into a wicked smile. My knights shall charge down the hillside and stop their advance in an instant, and at that very moment my retreating footmen will fall in to crush their flanks. Ah, yet another victory soon to be mine. You suddenly realize Delora is watching you intently. Are you feeling well? You might take up the game another day, if you so wish. No, let's continue. Delora plays excellently, counteracting all but your most crafty moves, but eventually your feints and calculating maneuvers win over her well-crafted strategies. She nods approvingly as she begins to put the game away. You are a fine player, perhaps a master. I commend you for your skill. Thanks, but you always play so mercilessly. Delora nods. Mistress Grace instructed me to hold nothing back, for another of her students plays so that her opponent will always just manage a win. It was Mistress Grace's desire that I provide a different sort of experience, a true challenge, rather than something that might be more pleasing to one's ego. Okay, I understand. I have some questions for you. Okay. Delora casts her eyes to the floor with a sound that might be a sad sigh. I am willing to serve you as a patron, but have no wish to answer other questions at this time. My apologies, but I fear you shall simply have to bear with that for the time being. No, that's not good. What's wrong? Anything I can help you with?
Updated my journal.
She looks up from the floor and into your eyes. Once more, you're struck by the pale smoothness of skin, the cold depths of her silvery eyes. No, I fear not. My troubles are a matter of the heart. In time, I think, all things shall be resolved. Are you certain there's nothing I could do? Certain? Delora pauses as if thinking. No, I am not. My first love, Merriman, possesses still the keys to my heart. I recognize that name. So long as he has them, I shan't be free to love another. This is the cause of my melancholy. Why don't you seek him out? Speak with him. Delora shakes her head. I may not leave this place. The reasons why are deeply personal and not to be shared with strangers, even ones who might bestow a kindness upon me. But suffice to say that I cannot seek out Merriman myself. Okay, I'll find him then. I'll speak to him on your behalf.
Updated my journal.
Delora nods, the slightest hint of a smile appearing on her lips. She bows her head. Were you to find and speak with Merriman, I would be most grateful. He is a member of the Society of Sensation, so you may wish to ask for him at the Civic Festival. I'll return when I find him. I knew I'd heard that name before. We must have seen him there. Okay, I'll return when I find him, Delora. Right. To the Civic Festival, methinks. That's not the way out. Where's the way out? Down here. Nenny we spoke to. 4 from Grace. There was another person that we got to come back here so we catch the other person then. Oh! No, there's a door over here we need to check out. And something tells me, what's her name over here behind the partition, the gargoyle woman, the Medusa woman, not gargoyle, Medusa woman. She, no one else seems to know anything of everyone we've spoken to. So let's take a wander down here. Okay. Brothel cellar. Brothel caretaker. What do we have here? Is this like a sensate stone? A sensorium stone? That's quite a statue there. Okay, let's give this a whirl. It is a sensory stone. This greyish-white stone, held in a mesh of engraved silver bands, pulses with light. Something was once inscribed into its base, but the writing has been scoured away.
Updated my journal.
Okay, what does my journal say? I found a hidden chamber beneath the brothel that contained a number of glowing stones. 10, in fact. One of them was blank. Something had once been inscribed upon the base, but had been scoured away. We may need to ask questions about that. Okay, we have some other ones, though. This translucent indigo stone, held in a mesh of engraved silver bands, pulses with deep blue light. Inscribed into its base is the word Juliet. Okay. Is this going to be the names of all the people upstairs? In which case, can we figure out whose this is? And if we can, what the bloody hell does that mean? Let's just keep looking and find out first. So we've got Juliet. This brilliant red stone, held in a mesh of engraved silver bands, pulses with fiery crimson light. Inscribed into its base is the word Nenny. Right. Translucent green stone. That's Echo. Okay. What's this one? Bluish purple stone. Vivian. We haven't spoken to Vivian yet. That's who we need to go and speak to. Seeing anything else around? This one here. Violet stone. Marissa. Is Marissa's... Yeah, it's her veil, isn't it? Am I correct in that? Where are the quests? Is it in the quests even? Turn to Delora. Marissa's Crimson Veil. Yes, it is. Okay, so that's Marissa's. This one here. Transparent bluish white. This is Kessai Ceres. We haven't spoke to her either. Her and Vivian. Let's speak to the caretaker. The man, looking slightly puzzled, nods as you approach. Greetings, sir. Might I ask how you came to be here? I just came down those stairs through that strange door I found. I'd best work on concealing it a bit better then. He shrugs and smiles at you. I'm the brothel's caretaker, by the way. You're not supposed to be down here, really, but it's all right if you look about for a bit. I had a few questions, if that's okay. He smiles nervously. I really shouldn't even allow you down here, let alone be chatting with you. Please, no questions for now. But tell me what this place is, at least. It's where the ladies' sensory stones are kept. They use them as diaries of a sort. You won't be able to use them, if that's what you're thinking. Each of them's attuned to one particular student of the brothel, so that only she may access that stone. As I thought.
Updated my journal.
Thank you. Journal. Okay, so we'll be able to use them. However, they've all been attuned to one particular woman. Okay, we know that. Whose is this one? Reddish orange, Delora. Okay. Anything else? No. This amber coloured stone. That's Kimaski Adatung, the brothel's dominatrix. This clear stone is Eve's. Okay, so who are we missing? Who are we missing? We definitely had Echo. Let's see if I can remember these. I don't have a pen and paper handy, so we need to go upstairs and see if there's anyone who we don't recognize. We've done all of these rooms, so I know I've spoken to these. There's Kesai Ceres. Let's speak to her. This alarmingly voluptuous woman has a thick mane of wavy raven-coloured hair, bluish skin, and shimmering crimson eyes like rubies which have fires lit behind them. Though she's not beautiful in the typical sense of the word, her features are exotic and not altogether unattractive. The woman's voice is deep and sensuous. "And my greetings to you, sir." Her burning eyes roam over you. "I'm Kesai Ceres, so tell me, what might I do for you, "Anything," Mort cries. "Do anything you want to me." Kesai laughs heartily, revealing canines long enough to be considered fangs. She shakes her head and smiles at Mort. "Truly, though, please, what can I do for you?" Well, what do you usually do for your patrons?" "Talk, of course. Usually about dreams, often those erotic in nature. But not always." Kesai winks at you, smiling. "So, would you like to tell me yours? Don't be shy. I've heard everything, you know. Nothing will shock or surprise me, and I so love to hear people's dreams. We can trade if you'd like, too. But you must go first." My dreams were recently revised when I saw you. Oh my god. No, that doesn't feel right. I don't have any dreams, actually. Kesai arches her eyebrows in surprise. "Truly? How sad. Even friends and divas dream, you know. Are you certain you don't?" "Quite certain. No dreams at all." Too peculiar. I'm at a loss as what to say." "Well, I did have some questions." Kesai blinks her crimson eyes at you, awaiting your question. "If you don't mind my asking, what are you?" Kesai shakes her head. "What? Can't you tell?" She draws herself up, thrusting her ample bosom towards you. "A woman." She raises an eyebrow. "I could see my answer doesn't please you. I'm plain touched, actually, like your friend here." Kesai indicates Anna. "That's all you need to know." Okay, another question. What can you tell me about this place? "Certainly. The brothel of slating intellectual lust is actually a school for women who are thinking of becoming sensates. Mistress Grace teaches us the ways of language so that we can better identify with ourselves and those around us. It lets us experience the planes more fully, you know." Good. Tell me about the sensates. The Society of Sensation believes that the multiverse can only be understood by experiencing it. The more you experience, the closer you are to understanding the dark of the multiverse. Intriguing, huh? I think I was born to be one. I just want to know things. I bet you do. Can you tell me anything about the silent prostitute? "Yes, that's Echo. She's very sweet, but so quiet. I understand that she said something once, which caused some great tragedy. And because of that, she'll never speak again." Kesai shrugs, smiling. "An interesting enough story, but I don't know if it's true. Try asking Delora. I've seen her talking to an ex-lover of Echo, back from a time when Echo was speaking." Yeah, but we have to go and do a job for Delora before she'll speak to us. What about Marissa's Crimson Veil? Do you know where it might be?
Updated my journal.
No. I haven't seen it since the last time she wore it out. But Nenny might have seen something, so try asking her. I'll admit it's been nice. Marissa won't leave her chamber without the veil, and so we've all been spared her foul tongue, leaving us only Kamaski to deal with. Kesai smirks. That Kamaski's the worst of the two, though. How so? Marissa's haughty and mean, but Kamaski, she's a bitter, spiteful monster of a woman, with a venomous tongue and the demeanor of a Baelor. I can't see why anyone would like to speak with her. I sincerely doubt her appearance makes up for that flaying, poisonous mouth of hers, but she receives patrons nonetheless. Okay. And do you know anything about Ravel Puzzlewell? No, nothing. Are you sure? You seem suddenly upset. She narrows her red eyes at you. Of course, I'm sure. Don't ask me of her again. Okay, fair enough. Okay, well, thanks for your time. Okay, so Vivian is the other one. So far, everyone we've spoken to seems to have a name downstairs. Kamaski, Eves, Nenny. Let's speak to Nenny again. She might know about the veil. Nenny, stop, will you? Oh, come on. Where's she gone? There she is. Well met, good sir. I'm Nenny, and how are you this fine day? Oh, we've met before. Nenny giggles and smiles gleefully at you. I'm sorry. I knew you looked familiar, though. That's all right, Nenny. I had some questions. I'm trying to find Marissa's Crimson Veil. Do you know where it might be? Nenny frowns deeply. What? Oh, I just can't. I can't say anything bad about anyone. I'm just no good at it. Look, it's not bad to point out a thief, Nenny. No offense, Anna. Oh, but I don't know if she's a thief. Nenny bites her lip and looks at you with pleading eyes, as if she just wishes you'd leave the topic alone. Look, why don't you try and say something not nice about her? Oh, all right. Nenny puts her hands on her hips and frowns deeply, almost exaggeratedly. You resist the temptation to laugh. Oh, I dislike her very, very much. She pauses for a moment, then looks at you out of the corner of her eye, as if gauging your reaction. Was that convincing? Not really. Nenny frowns. I knew I wouldn't be any good at this. She looks up at you, depressed. Do you know how hard it is to say bad things about someone? It feels so wrong. Okay, why don't you practice on me, Nenny? I suppose I could try. She looks dubious. You big, mean, nasty brute. She puts her hands on her hips. Meanie. She looks at you. How was that? Put more accent on brute. You big, mean, nasty brute. Better. Now hit me. Nenny clamps her hands over her mouth, looking shocked. Oh, I couldn't. I mustn't. She blinks. How does one hit somebody anyway? Go ahead. Do it lightly if you have to. Remember, I'm a mean, nasty brute. I deserve it. Nenny slaps you. You barely feel it. She still looks shocked and frightened. She hurt you. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that hurt? Tell me you're okay. Don't break character, Nenny. Come on. Show me what you've got. Just you can say something bad. Just let it all out. Oh, I mean... Nenny draws her tiny frame up to its full height, balls her hands into fists, puts them on her hips, scrunches up her face in a cute scowl. Oh, damned be you. You deserve that for all the indignities you put me through. Going out late at night. Her eyes roam up and down your body. Getting into fights and getting all scarred up. What are the kids going to think, Excellent. Oh, don't you excellent me like I'm some backlicker looking for your approval. I am my own woman, and this woman is about to walk out of your life unless I get some solid commitment. All right, that's enough out of you, Nenny. Then he punches you. You barely feel it. Take this. She punches you again. And this. She punches you again, promptly turning into a little fist-flailing whirlwind. Okay, time to let go of the anger. Nenny sighs tiredly. Phew, that was easier than I thought. No kidding. And I'm sure I'll do better next time. I'm so excited to have learned something new. Thank you. Sure. Now, I have a question now. Please, ask. She smiles giddily. Now, I'm trying to find Marissa's Crimson Veil. Do you know where it might be?
Updated my journal.
I'll bet I do. I saw that nasty Kamaski Addertongue sneaking out of Marissa's room one night. They're both meanies, you know, but Kamaski's really awful. Anyway, I talked to her first. Thank you very much, Nenny. That's all I needed to know. Actually, was Nenny one of the first people I spoke to? Where is she? Come back. Just want to check to see if she... I can't remember if I asked her about the silent prostitute. What can you tell me about the silent prostitute, Nenny? Oh, Echo? Yes, she's a mysterious one, isn't she? Do you know that she never speaks, truly? Nenny leans in and lowers her voice. I think she was emotionally wounded, so badly that she may never speak again. I bet Delora knows, because she sometimes talks to the last lover Echo had when she still spoke. Okay, nothing new there. Thanks, Nenny. Right. now need to go and speak to Delora. And it looks like we're going to have spent another whole episode in here, because I'm going to leave that until next time. Thank you all for watching. I do hope you're well, and until next time, take care.